So let us continue with, you can see, let us continue with the step number 6. You can see step number 5 was the reinforcement to be provided along the length. Now I'll show you the what is step 6 is all about. Observe here. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, see, I need to talk in low tone because one more class is going on in the other cabin, Naveen Gorpudi. So I'll talk in little bit low tone here, but if it is not audible, you can tell me. Now observe here. Step 6 is very important. The reason is the way you calculate the reinforcement is different here. Observe. Now, what is this reinforcement in the transverse direction means what? I'll just observe here. Now you look at this plan here. Okay. Now this is L, this is B. Okay. Now what I have done in step 5. Now I'll show you. Observe here. Reinforcement in the longitudinal direction in between the columns. Okay. This is top bars. These are top bars. Next is what are these bars? This much this side. These are actually bottom bars. Okay. So this is a clear diagram you learn later on. So top bars are there which are taking care of hogging moment. Bottom bars near both the columns are there. They are bottom bars. They are taking care of sagging moment. Now this is what we call it as reinforcement in the longitudinal direction. Now reinforcement in the transverse direction means what? Just observe here. Just remove this one. I'll remove this and I'll show you what is a, just observe here because only one step is left here. Transverse reinforcement. Just type your USN in the text box later. Now observe this one. What is reinforcement in the transverse direction? Like this. Now I need to provide reinforcement like this also. Like this also, just under the columns. Not everywhere. And here also. One more column is there. Here also. See this. How to provide this steel, how to calculate, and what is the spacing and diameter, why it is necessary. Okay. Now this is what is all about step number 6, reinforcement in the transverse direction. So I am providing the steel in this direction, so this is transverse direction. Why this is required and how to find it. Now I'll draw one more figure. Observe here why it is required. So this is a, let us say this is the column here. I'll draw the side view of this. I'll draw the side view of this. If you see from this direction, how it looks, how the elevation looks, If you stand here and observe in this direction, how this elevation looks, we just observe this. You will see this. You will see this width here. This is width of the. This is width. You are standing here and observing the width of the footing, and you will see this column here. Okay, is it clear this one? You are standing here and observing this side. You are going to see the width of the footing and a column line like this. Now what will happen here is, because of this the footing may bend in the transverse direction also like this. The transverse direction also like this. So this is because of this reason I need to provide reinforcement here and reinforcement here. So it is observed that this phenomena takes place only near the columns, not everywhere. In between the columns, this type of phenomena is not occurring. So in and around this column, in and around this column, in and around this column, this is observed. Okay, that is why I will provide reinforcement in the transverse direction, very close to this column, as well as very close to this column also. Okay, any questions? One more column is here. Now in this step I am going to discuss only about the transverse reinforcement, its position, diameter and spacing, and how to calculate it. Now observe. Now observe here. Now let us start the transverse reinforcement under heavily loaded column. This column is more heavily loaded, or I can say A2 is more than A1. See, this side is center to edge is A1. This side it is A2. So I'll start with you can start with any column. No, there is no problem. Now I have to decide this part. Just observe here. I have to calculate. I have to assume like this. Just observe this one here. Just observe this. Just observe clearly here. Just observe this. Only this much of the footing, this much, this area, this entire area, this to this much of the footing bends like this, bends like this. This portion bends transversely like this. Only this much area. Only in this area I should provide the reinforcement here. Now the question is how to calculate this much of portion where there is a transverse bending of the footing, bending in the transverse direction. So we have seen bending in the longitudinal direction like this. That you have seen here in the first page only. You have seen. Just see. See this. What is this? This is the shape of the footing in the transverse direction. You see this diagram here. This is in the longitudinal direction. You see this diagram here. This is in the transverse direction also. It can bend. But this bending of footing in the transverse direction happens only near the column, not in between. In between it is not possible because the column is trying to go inside. Because of this, the effect is observed only in and around the column. So how much is that area which is taking part in transverse bending? So the portion of footing, just observe this much portion of the footing which takes part in transverse bending. Now how to calculate? So you can see this 0.65 this side. This is the width of the column dimension. You go this side by 680 mm small d. This side by 680 mm. So this is what I am getting 0.68 plus 0.5 plus 0.68. That is this from this edge small d, from this edge small d, you are getting it. Then this is B, as you know it. This is B. It means you are having a rectangular strip. This is a rectangular strip which takes part in transverse bending. Same thing you observe here. Here also this side D, this side also D, but that much is not available here. That is why the width of the strip is reduced here, because from this only 0.2 meters available, because inside it is zero point 0.4, I mean 0.2 again. So from the center it is given as 0.4 meter. If you can see the problem data, from center it is 0.4 meter. Out of that 0.2 is already covered inside. Outside means it is from edge it is only 0.2 meters. So what will happen if you try to use this here is that much of space is not available. Whatever is there you have to use. Normally you should go this on either side of the edges equal to small d. That is possible here because this is more, A2 is more. So I can get 680 this side because it is 1.32 from the center. I can easily get this. It means D is available this side also, this side also. That is why this is the strip. Okay. But here what will be the strip size? Strip size here it will be, just observe. Strip size is, just observe this. I'll show you the strip size here. Strip size, why these are different, you should understand. While solving the problem, we should not say why these two strips are having different widths here. Now see this. This is what is. So this much of strip is taking part in the transverse bending near the column C1. This strip is also taking part in the transverse bending near column C2. Now, as I told you again and again, this actually we should go from this edge to small d, again from this edge to small d, but that much is not available. Whatever is available, I have taken. So 0.2 plus 0.4 plus 0.69. See here. Can you see this one? 0.2 plus 0.4, because 0.4 is the dimension of column. This side D is available. This side D is available, so it is 680 in 6.68 meters. Here all round D is available. So these are the strips. How to form the strips I have explained. Now let us go to next line here. Ultimately, I should find the reinforcement in the transverse direction. You can see here. Okay. Now, if you draw this side view of this column, you look at this diagram. This column carries 800 kN. Since this is 0.5, 2 minus 0.5 divided by 2 is 0.75 this side, 0.75 this side. So the cantilever portion is 0.75 on either side. So it is a cantilevering now. So the cantilevering span is 0.75 meter this side. This side also it is cantilevering by 0.75. But if you look at this column here, this column dimension is less, 0.4. So 2 minus 0.4 by 2 is 0.8 meter. This side 0.8 meter, this side total is 2 meters. Total is again 2. Here also total is 2 meters only. So like this, the cantilevering span here it is 0.8. Here the cantilever span is 0.75. The reason is the column size is smaller here. Okay. Now I got it. I got this. I have to draw these figures to understand it better. That is, this diagram is drawn side by side. This has to be drawn. This side you draw the corresponding to C2. This side you draw this figure corresponding to C1. Because you will be knowing the upward pressure and cantilever. It becomes simply it is a cantilever slab now. Design becomes very simple now. Now because of this net upward pressure, it depends. Now I'll show you here. Observe. The bending, how it takes place. Observe here. See how it depends. There is a net upward pressure because of this. In the transverse direction, you can see this. It bends like this. due to net upward pressure, which means the top fibers are in tension here. So I have to provide reinforcement at the top. I think, did I say rightly? What I said was correct. So here you can see the bottom, bottom fiber is stretched, not top one. Bottom fiber is stretched. Here also you can see. Here also you can see here. It bends because of net upward pressure. So bottom fiber is stretched, top fiber is compressed. Cantilever, simply cantilever. So I'm going to provide reinforcement here. Reinforcement here. It is reinforcement steel is here. Okay. You remember one thing, the load is acting upwards. In strength of material, cantilever load is acting downwards. That is why the tension zone is above the neutral axis. Here it is cantilever, but the UDL is acting upwards. That is why the tension zone is below. So this is what you need to understand here. So I'll go to the next page, calculation part. Right now your understanding is how to form the strips, two strips. What is the formula used? D this side, D this side. Here also same thing. If D is not available, whatever is available, that much. Like this, two strips are formed. How the transverse bending takes place due to net upward pressure is diagram is indicated here. Now let us go to the next page. How to find the reinforcement and all we can see now. This is very carefully observe this one. What I have done is, now let us start with start with column pressure under column C1. Carefully observe this one here. Carefully observe. C1 is 500 kN is the load acting here. The load acting here is, already you know it, column carries a load of 500 kN. So this 500 is written here, column load, divided by the area. This is very important. This is area of the strip. See this one, 2 into 1.28. What is this? This is 2 meter into this distance. Okay. This into this. Just observe this. Just observe here. 2 into 1.28. So whatever strip is defined there, that area. So this will give you pressure. This pressure calculation is 195.31 because of this. This calculation is not there in the previous steps. You cannot use net upward pressure calculated for previous steps. That is very important. You cannot use 222 something that we have calculated. You cannot use that one. Separately, you should calculate pressure under column C1 like this. Now, it is nothing but cantilever subjected to upward UDL of 195.31. Span is 0.8 meter. Simple problem. Simple problem of cantilever slab. WL square by 2. W is this, L is this. See this, 195.31 into L square by 2. L is the cantilever span for this column C1. So this calculation becomes important here. Huh? You have to be careful. That is why I am telling you, unless you solve two problems on your own, you cannot follow here. You have to solve at least two problems on your own, then only you'll come across difficulties here. This is important, 195.31. So I got 62.5 as bending moment. So for there, see this is all unfactored loads are there. Therefore, once you find this, I'm telling you again and again, once you find this, multiply by 1.5. So 93.25. Again use the same formula. So I'm telling you, you should be conversant with SP16. AST can be calculated fast here. 4 times I am calculating AST. This is third time now. AST 3. One is for hogging moment longitudinal. One is for sagging longitudinal. Now AST 3 is, it is for transverse steel under C1. So AST 3 and all is calculated like this. Now observe here, mu is factored load, B is 1280, it is not 2000. You have to be careful. B becomes this. In whichever direction the transverse bending is taking place, that is B. Normally students are committing mistake here only. See this. In case of longitudinal steel, it was 2000. Now it is 1280. What is it 1280? What is that one? 1280. 1280 is this. 1280 is what? This is 1280. You cannot use 2000 because bending is taking place in the transverse direction. That is why this should be used. Okay, where I used this one? Here I used 1280. This is where students are committing mistakes and they are telling, sir, I should get full marks. I have done everything properly. So this is where you are committing mistakes here. When I checked with a Xerox copy of the answer sheet, answer booklet, these were the mistakes the student had committed here. So here 1280 D, you say, observe here. For this mistake, they don't remove any marks, but even then you be careful. 680 minus 16. So small d is also different here. It is not 680, 664. Because already steel is there. Over that I am providing this. Already steel is there in one direction. Above that I am providing. I will show you in the diagram. From one textbook only, I'll show the diagram here. So B and D are important. So D is 680 minus 16 because again I'm going to use 16 mm bars only. So like this, you calculate it. Now observe 3000, it is 393.2. 393.2 is your bending moment is giving. Your bending moment 93.75 gives a steel only 393.2, but minimum steel, observe here. Minimum steel formula, again there is a change here. B is again not 2000, it is less. See this one. How much is B? It is not 2000 no, here. Depth is same, capital D will not change, but B is this. So B is measured along capital L. You understand only this much. B is measured along capital L for this calculation, not that B, because the bending is considered in the transverse direction. That is why. So when you calculate AST minimum, here it is 1280. In the previous calculations of longitudinal steel, it was 2000. Now 1136. 1136. Now it is 392. Compare these two, this is higher. For this you provide steel now. Again observe here, all these are important here. How do you find the spacing? Spacing of 16 mm bars is equal to, again I am not going to use 2000 here. Because only in this width I am supposed to provide the, only in this width I am supposed to provide the reinforcement here. See this. These are very important, only by practice I am telling you. So spacing of 16 bars is equal to 1280 because in this width I am going to provide the reinforcement. 1280. Just observe this. Just observe. This is 1280. Whatever green this one, this is 1280. In this only I am going to provide the steel in the transverse direction. That is why I should use 1280 and not 2000. Okay, so this is 1280 divided by total area. What will happen, you observe, if you use 393 and try to find out the spacing, it will be very big problem, big mistake, because code book minimum is 1136.6, whereas bending moment is giving me 393. Out of this, higher value is taken, and if by mistake if you do not calculate AST minimum and if you go ahead with 393, what will happen? 393 into 1136, lot of difference is there between these two AST values. So finally I'm using the minimum criteria, which is higher than what bending moment is giving. So spacing of 16 mm bars, all this is 226.3. Here also you should check, I have not done it here. should not be more than, should not be more than, should not be more than. That calculation he should show here also. But anyway, it will be 220 is the smallest there. Observe. Observe here. 16 mm at 220. Just observe this. Are you getting this? Transfer steel it is. It is running parallel to the width of the footing. These bars are running parallel to the width of the footing. 16 at 220. Say 220. It is provided here. Here also 16 at 220, but I will show you that one. That calculation is there. All of you type your USA name and division in the text box. Now observe here. Why D is reduced? That I will explain now. Just observe. Why it is 664? Why the depth is changed in the transverse direction? Why it is not 680? Why it is 664? I will show you why it is. Just observe this. Now the D value should be taken. Just observe. Just observe this. Up to the center of this. 680 is here. This is 680, but still transverse steel is these dots, big circles are there. No? That is why you see this. This is 680 minus 1 diameter. 1 diameter. That is why it is 680 minus 1 diameter is 680 minus 16. Okay. So 9 minutes are left. I'll be able to finish it. Same thing is done for this column. If you understood under column C1, same thing is done. Now observe here. I'll go a little bit fast. Pressure under the column C2. See, this span is different. Span is different here. Now load calculation. Pressure under column C2. Just observe this. 800 divided by 2 into 1.86. Here how it is? Here it is 500 by 2 into 1.28. 1.28. Here 800 by 2 into 1.86. What is this 1.86? I think you know it. 1.86 is this distance. I'll just show you that one, which is that 1.86 is this. This is 1. Okay. So observe here. Same thing. Rest all is same. Rest all is same. No change at all. But calculation of pressure under column C2 is column load carried by C2 divided by this area. Area of the strip, whatever I showed it there, area of the strip, 2 into 1.86, 215. So BM at the junction, BM is calculated like this, then multiply by 1.5 for factored moment. So I'll be able to finish this design in the WhatsApp only. I'll give one extra assignment problem. Last page we have reached, 12th page. 8 minutes are left. Now observe here. So moment is calculated, WL square by 2. WL square by 2 is calculated, that is 60.5. I got it in the previous page. So 1.5 times is factored moment. For this moment, calculate steel. Again, it will be less than the minimum. Less than the minimum here. So 90.75. This value is less than. Usually in every problem, this is going to happen. AST3 and AST4 will be those values given by bending moment will be less than AST minimum. Normally it is happening like that. It means compulsorily you have to calculate AST minimum and check it. It will be much more higher than what bending moment is giving you the AST value. So this is AST4. So everywhere AST1, AST2, AST3 are using this formula. It is going to take a lot of time. If you don't know how to use SP16, I'll explain that one to calculate AST values. Okay, so AST minimum is this one. I'm going to use this number. Now spacing again, observe. Important observation is there here again. Important observation is, what is this? This value is different now. It is not a spacing of bars. It is not 2000 or it is not the previous value. Actual width of the strip is 1860. So I'm going to use 1860. Where is it 1860? this one. This is 1860. That has to be used for spacing calculations. So this is 1860 into area of one bar divided by total steel required. So again it is 226. Again it is 220 here also. You observe this. Again the same thing has happened. So these two transverse reinforcement bars are okay. What these are nothing but 16 mm at 220. Now clearly you observe here A, longitudinal reinforcement. B, wherever B is written, that is transverse reinforcement. C, nominal steel. So whatever these top dot circles are there, no, they are running parallel to the width. They are not designed. They are just nominal steel of 16 mm at 300. Like it cannot be more than 300 in any case. That is why 300 is given. So these bars are 16 mm only, but at 300 center, no calculation is there for this. Only to form a mesh, these bars are used. So A is hogging means longitudinal. Here also A longitudinal. But again, if you want to say A is hogging, one more A is sagging, but both are in longitudinal direction. Wherever A is there, it is longitudinal. B is transverse. See, this is B written here. These circles are there, no, below. These dots, all these are all nominal steel. Now, what about these two bars? These two bars, what I have done here, I have taken the here like this nominal steel. It means these dots, just observe this. All these bars, circles are there, no? These are all nominal plus these two nominal. Whereas this one, these are actually calculated. This one, all these are actually calculated separately using bending moment across normal. Then minimum steel was calculated. Then accordingly these are provided. So this is a complete diagram actually. If you draw this figure and if you convince the examiner, you will get full marks. Actually, when you calculate AST1, AST2, AST3, AST4, after calculation, if you can show them in the diagram, which is AST1, which is AST2, which is AST3 and all, in the diagram, if you make it clear, you will get 40 out of 40. Many students have scored. In the previous, you ask your seniors, most of them have scored 40 out of 40 because of this diagram also. Diagram gives everything clear, which are nominal and which are actually calculated using bending moment or AST minimum. So this is a practice problem here. Later I'll give. This is the practice problem. Only 3 minutes are left. M20 Fe415 500 700 3.4 is given. Here width is restricted to. Width is already fixed. Width is already fixed. This is A1 and A2 are not given. Okay. Directly width is given. In the previous problem, A1 was given, width was not given. You try this one. If you are get any problems, I will be there. So such two problems I will be giving you. Solve both the problems and submit it later on. See, one problem you have to submit, you have to show it later on. Only one you show it to me first. One full problem you show it with all 7 steps. Take it as assignment number 1. One more problem later you can submit, not within 5 days. Only one is enough within 5 days. So this is the end of design number 1. Just go through this. Any questions are there? One more session will engage for this, but not in the usual college time. It will be afternoon sessions of working days. If you want any repetition of this, I'll be saving this this one video, and you can go and check it. Any doubts are there? Again, you can come back. The only thing that is going to happen is you should solve on your own one full problem. There is no other method for this. You have to solve at least minimum 2 problems. One I have given, one more I will create. One compulsorily you submit, second one you show it. That's all. Second one you practice and show it. At the same time, when you solve the second example, this is first one that whatever I showed here on the screen. Second, I'll give later. While solving the second problem, you look at the time also. How much time you are taking to solve that problem. Now you cannot calculate it. It takes a lot of time. When you solve for the first time, it is going to take 3 to 4 hours. When you solve the second example, you tell me how much time you are taking for that. Then only I will tell you whether you should use SP16 compulsorily. It's better to use SP16. SP16 for calculation of AST1, AST2, AST3, AST4 values. This all takes time. You have to come out of that RCC syndrome of using AST calculations. Lot of calculations are involved there, so you avoid that one. I'll explain that also once. That time what you should do, you should solve the same problem whatever I have given, this problem whatever the notes are given, wherever AST are there, all AST1 to AST4 you should calculate using SP16. The rest all will be same. Okay, that is what you should follow now. You can reduce lot of time. So this is the end of your first design. 4-5 designs are there in this. Steel also I'll start one steel design, that is the entry girder. It is very big. If you follow that problem, means you are perfect in steel structures.